Hello. Morning,
Venkatesh.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. How are you, sir? Fine, sir.
What's the platform that we can introduce ourselves?
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
How is things, sir? Everything's going on is online, right? For you all.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been totally online, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Online.
So hope all are taking necessary precautions and staying safe, sir.
Yeah, it's must. It's must. And we need to wait for another 20 days at least
Yes, sir. Yes,
to come out of danger.
exactly. A special platform, sir, to conduct the online examinations and online. So even individual.
Yeah, in interest of time, we'll be starting the webinar and attendees will be joining. I request Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmacy, Dr. Eshwar.
Udayashree, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics at RIPER, Anantapur. And pleasure for me to introduce to us about modern. Our speaker, MPharm, PhD, MBA, DCT, DD of the Department of Pharmaceutics at Koneru Lakshmaya Education Foundation deemed to be at Guntur. He is a gold medalist in B Pharmacy. Also received 2 silver medals during received MPharm and received a doctorate degree from Bad. He secured 98.6 percentile in the year 2006 and he received 7 UGC fellowship at American Association of Pharmacists, Diego, California, USA. He has 13 and a half and research experience, 40 plus research papers, journals, 6 chapters and some more are in international publishers. He participated in an international conference, workshops and programs. He organized Bombay and UK IERI enabled ALMs and technology. He did biomedical technology, drug patenting, pharmacovigilance. He is editorial. He has guided 38 24 graduate students, supervisor for 6 research scholars. He is acting as LEF. He is a life professional bodies like IPA, and member of AAPS. Training for more than 12, good at computational award, best senior faculty award, Favorite Teacher Award and Best Sir.
Add a note about him. Fiber Group. So, along with other development of pharmacy students, Dr. Eshwar to take over.
Thank you. I hope my voice is clear. Is it fine?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
So because it is online platform, there is every chance there may be a fault in my audio or video. You are just accordingly. So it's to be with the right everyone who has given me this opportunity to Dr. Padmanabh Reddy sir, who for any doubt or any clarifications, I make a call to him, and he used to Padmanabh Reddy sir for all his support at all the times. And I am thankful to Professor Ram, and he is an inspiration to all of us. Thank you very much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. And at last but not the least, I am thankful to Dr. Pawan. I am calling him Dr. Pawan because I feel him like my brother. That is the only reason I am calling him like that. Don't take another way. So he is my. So without any further delay, to the session. So before the activities, right from the last year COVID situation, they are doing a lot of webinar series, engaging the students as well as the faculty for enriching the knowledge. Experiments like particle size determination or some other activities, they are very much useful. Out that knowledge in their lab such that it will be spreading to all the students. That is really an appreciable thing. I really appreciate from in association with some other bodies and frontline the vice chancellors. They played a key role. So like that, there are so many achievements by RIPER in such. With the RIPER team and that positive vibrations, I will take this. I will shut down my video. Consumption presentation now. As a part of RIPER webinar in order to enrich both students as well as faculty. You could excuse me because I have not taken a subject topic. Present, maybe different topics, different subjects are there, but my major focus for the fellow colleagues like that. So if we can present very effectively, so whatever the it will reach COVID pandemic. So I thought maybe sharing of some of the strategies which I have learned from so many people and which I am practicing and which you may also be practicing very well, but somewhere your strategies may not be known to me, my strategy. So in accepted, and we thought that it may be a need of you may treat them as a tips or some planning criteria, something like that. We will come to some conclusion that there are some tips we can follow or we are already following, and like that, that is the only concept and nothing more than that. So in that perspective, I have chosen to present today's session. Thank you. So now at the end of this session, what are the outcomes I am expecting by all the audience? A brief difference about the traditional versus modern teaching, and they may be knowing about revolutions, and they may be having a small idea about concept of active learning strategies. I may be practicing more than that, but as time constraints are there, I try to in a number of around 20 presentation, and any further interactions are also acceptable. So these are the outcomes what I'm expecting by the end of this session. And before going into the this presentation, there are about 10 words related to the present situation. So like 10 drug names are there incorporated in this puzzle. I request you to please type the words that you are able to identify in the chat box like that. I request Pawan to please read out if any answer came in the chat box. So around 10 drug names are there in this puzzle. So I request the audience to please try to catch it. We will give around 2 minutes time. So I request Pawan, because I am unable to see the chat box when I am in screen. I request Pawan to read out if any answer was posted. Let us see. We will give 2 minutes time. Around 10 drug names were hidden in this puzzle. Anyone, teacher, student, whoever is watching. Ten drug names are there, or 10 substances names are there like that. YouTube, I could see Srikant Dama has and very good. So Pawan, are you able to see any? Yes. Yes, one more thing is dexamethasone. I am reading through YouTube. Box. Yeah, ivermectin, prednisolone, dexamethasone. 3 drugs were identified. One was Ajit. I am getting few answers in YouTube. Your name, please.
Kranti Kumar.
You can unmute and you can say also that who are able to see the chat box. I am in presentation mode. Yeah, anything else? We have one more.
Favipi Ravi, sir.
Excellent. What is your name? Huh? Nowadays.
Prednisolone, sir.
Very good. Prednisolone. Anyhow, good. So it's a really is keeping Dolo 650 along with us. So very good. So now let us move to the next thing. Ivermectin already told, dexamethasone cleared, doxycycline cleared, paracetamol cleared, and favipiravir cleared. That is Fabiflu, and recently approved drug that is D-glucose. Casually, I kept RIPER. So I can give you 80% score to all a good thing. So I appreciate pandemic situation. So just to have an idea, I kept this. In some cases, attention from other distractions to practically. I thought of giving. Now, why we have already we are teachers and we are doing from students, even our principal or need. Yes, obviously we in everybody's daily life, every day we can learn something new. Students like that have any other end is entirely different from today's student life. Today's students, they are like, I think I'm getting some life. Majority of the students, because of different social networks, are very fast and should accept, because it is a generation change and we need to change along with the generations and along with the situations. So by keeping that point in mind, for example, in our days, if the teacher is not coming to the class, if he or she is somewhat late, we don't have any option. We just chit chat with a friend, maybe a subject or some other thing. There in the class, a student's mind is totally thinking about different social networks, what is the commentaries there for chat. And based on that, we need to plan something differently than the previous whatever the teacher thing like that. We used to follow that compass. We don't have other sources in those days. Later I studied about that. Later slowly I came to know, and I don't have a mobile. So, but nowadays every student is having one or two mobiles. Immediately after the class, they are not able to talk to the adjacent student also. Immediately everybody is taking mobile and looking into this. So, to the students or through social networks only. Like that the situation became. So, in such a hard time, how to divert the towards the subject? They want to be fed with the subject. Nowadays we have a complete lecture by our teacher, and we used to follow that because we don't have other sources. If the teacher does not give any material, that topic and bookish, mostly we used to follow textbooks only. That's why we used to purchase so many textbooks. They are having soft copies. Discussions we have our doubts, and we are very much somewhat. Some teachers are very strict. We may not approach them, but there are some learning. Mostly teacher used to continuously say, and we don't feel any bore at class only for that particular topic. Like that we use and teacher centric. Most of the days, all the things teacher. We don't have any other sources. So whatever he or she says, that is final. And depends on the content. How content finish the syllabus students. But now in modern teaching, what are the things we need to survive? Like that situations came, and demonstration for everything. The student is not accepting. He or nature should be there. So whatever the thing we are kinetic equation or something, we should mainly, that is facilitation. So nowadays the teacher's role need to guide the students where the good information we should we are just a facilitator. We are not the whole and soul possible in the world enders. And now it is where the teacher is not being considered as a teacher. Can be or even or administrative people. They are a teacher became very what I can say. The teacher has to work more in order to engage the present generation students. And another word we have to remember: active learning. The prime time, because without any methodology or strategy, we are unable to teaching that things. You will accept this statement and you will agree with my statement, because you could have some good content, good concept. Students may not listen. This is very important. You are not knowing the content or subject, and we are becoming villains towards some gap is getting increased, and finally, so it's all because of. So we should consider them positively and use. So for that, modern teaching strategies is what I am trying to. It's not the way how our teachers taught to us and we followed. It is something entirely different in the modern teaching strategies. That's what I mean to say. Every time old is gold, we should, what I can say, concept and interest of teacher to that we need to merge some of the modern teaching strategies. We should face. We could have, or we should be ready to face such type of. Students are not having any fear to expressions they are giving. MCP something we have not had. Send them out something. Some issues are there in some colleges. Like in mind, if it is an online class, even though we and simply there will be no response, we will be shouting, tell the answer, tell the answer. We are unable to identify the be less. So to avoid is such that they may be engaged, they may be given importance. So before talking about strategies, I just want to point or something like that. In the education revolution also there are some revolutions, like in education 1.0. In the early days there are just lectures and memorization things are okay, but in education 2.0 there is students are trying to producing education. More importance is given to not is totally about innovative. Even now our innovation councils, but in education 2 interaction started, and the internet producing education, teacher to student interaction, student to student. They started interacting with the teachers. If any doubt is directly ask the teacher, and the teacher that if at all assume that we don't know for answer class, I simply say that okay, sorry guys, everything should be known to a teacher. So that rapport should be maintained with the student and teacher, in between student and teacher. Like how a person is interacting with other person only through present generation, we can call it as innovation producing type of education, where there should be a seeing some video interested in class time, he or she is in time, and at that time that person should have the availability of the knowledge to always have an access for all. They should be there, and feedback loops, the doubt in the comment box, and whenever morning or something, the teacher some questions to that particular video going on in the present generation, and we should maintain some platforms because we are communication, we are taught comment boxes we are using every time. So this is the education 4.4 innovation produce topic, that is about ALMs, active learning education 4.0. Time to engage the student. So there are so many, and today's session I will be up to some 11 o'clock. I will try to discuss about all these are there. I limited to some 20 strategies. All I am saying, just not and I am practicing, which I have practiced for the last 14 years of my teaching journey. I am practicing them because of my passion. I'm more passionate about teaching, even though industry opportunities, all those things. Some students, some people prefer of their own choice. On my choice, students, I feel students are my strength. Teachers, so I drafted my own way of strategies and I started implementing them, and I got good something new, and I am getting good responses. So today I am sharing all those things. So if you feel something good enough, time pass session, so please. So now maybe young teachers who are interested in teaching, and they of our to have some strategy. Without a strategy, we are unable to engage a class properly. Even though if we fail to express that in something better manner, students will be getting good stuff from the teacher. And see, that one point I want to stress here is, first we should be so that is the present generation policy delivering. We are serious also, should starting itself between students and teacher, and even if of our batch of students, because we will be dealing so many batches of students. Lot of differences we are able to observe from class to class within the same year, or after few years we will say that old batch is something what I can say curious to learn, and now the present batch is something chit-chatting batch. Like that, we have a lot of comments in our staff rooms. So whatever the scenario, we should adjust and we should adopt something new what they want, because our main theme is to imbibe students' mind. So whatever the struggle we into the students' mind, our strategy 1, we should very hard thing to be accepted. The students, we can order the students. Those days are not possible now. So that one. So see, because for example, one experiment, if I am unable to teach my students, if I try to manage, in the olden days they are unable to go anywhere. Whatever I say, that is the final thing. Information from a RIPER video or from other is there, it's particle size determination video in the YouTube. In the lab itself, assume I planned the place that some particle size determination in the RIPER lab. So I only bring that YouTube link and I will facilitate that link to all my batch of 60 students or 100 students, and I ask them to please go through. Next week we are going to have that experiment in our lab. So even I will also watch. If I know, very good. If I don't know, I will also learn. And if before going to the class itself, if I have any doubt, I will go on practice on that equipment. Finally, what is my target? I should train my students in a best manner. Then only I will be getting satisfaction. So hence, please, I request all the teachers, we should accept as a facilitator role. So teacher role is next to facilitator role. Once we accept facilitator role, then only we can become a good teacher. This is what I urge. And the next strategy 2. So what I generally follow is generally divide the strength of the class into teams. So instead of teaching continuously to the students for 50 minutes, or nowadays online classes around 100 minutes continuous classes were also scheduled in some areas. So let the class be divided into some teams, constructive teams. They should have some positive environment. It should be constructive, and keep some moderators in each team, 1 or 2 students, we call them as moderators. And if any question is raised or if any task is given to them, try to deal with the teams through the moderators. So that means you train the moderators, those moderators will train the remaining students, and such that they will be engaged, whether it is an online platform interaction or offline platform interaction, in a stipulated time. And see, one point I mean to say, all the strategies may not be suitable for all classes, for all topics. So we need to change the strategies, we need to change the orientation from class to class, or topic to topic, or day to day, and or from batch to batch also. All things doesn't work with all the people. So here team strategies is one excellent strategy we can follow. And strategy 3, as you've seen, it was reversed. It was in a flipped manner, and the strategy itself is called as a flipped classroom. Nowadays in the online section, or whether it is offline. See, I am not talking only about online thing. These are all things which are implemented in offline sessions also. It's a flipped classroom concept. So if anybody is new to this term, it is a simple thing. So flipping, that means reversing. So generally what we do in the class, we will explain and we give some activity for the homework. But in the flipped classroom, we don't explain in the class. We will record that explanation, or we will draft a note for that explanation. And even before the student enters into the class, we will give that stuff. So even before the student comes to the class, we will give the material or video or something what I am going to talk. For example, in the tomorrow's class or next week class, I planned tablets evaluation. So I will give all the information related to tablets evaluation to all my students, and expect them, or I will ask them to read that material or to watch that class evaluation of tablets even before entering into the class. So once they come to my class, this is out of class, that means at home or at room. So here during the class, once they enter into the class, okay, they came to my class tomorrow or next week. At that time, I will have application orientation, as already the stuff is given to the students. Now I will start interacting with them. Hi guys, have you gone through the video or the material regarding evaluation of tablets? Maybe majority of the students say no, or some students. So slowly we should adopt them. So if they have watched it or not watched it, we will start interacting with them. So I will ask, what are the instruments we use for hardness testing? One student may say Monsanto, another student may say another thing, Pfizer. So like that. And then again, what is the limit for hardness as per official compendia? They may be saying some unit, numerical. I may ask you, do you have a remembering of units? So like that, I extend the discussion, and I will give some practice problems for weight variation. So finally in the class, I will be allowing the students to apply the concept, and work on that. So in the class, I am not giving any explanation. I am trying to let them understand where that knowledge is applicable. So like that, if we do that, this is giving more involvement of the students. Lot of interaction will be developed between the students and teachers. This is what I used to follow in some of the classes. And finally, after the thing is completed, I may give some case study or some experiment or some practical problem based on the topic, nature of the topic. It will vary. So I will, for example, if it is some kinetics topic, I may give them a case study. I assume that if my student name is some Fanindra, I will say Fanindra Super Specialty Hospital is there. Some poison case came to you. You are supposed to give an IV infusion, but the case is very serious. It may take more time to achieve steady state concentration. So in that case, what you are supposed to do? So like that, I will give some questions. And if they are unable to catch the answer, I will start giving some hints. I will say, okay, by today night 9 p.m. if you are able to answer, post in the WhatsApp group. So after going to the home, or post in the learning management system or some platform what we are following. If they are missing to present, so I should give some hint after 9 p.m. I will say, okay, think about loading dose. Does it make any sense? So like that, I will give short hints. After giving some hints, I may give some values for this is the expected steady state concentration. This is the volume of distribution for the drug. Then are you able to fix the loading dose, my dear students? Like that, I will be asking them. So like that, we should involve them. And this is a very excellent concept, a flipped classroom technology. But the only problem is a teacher need to struggle a lot to develop this much of pre-class information and post-class information. And during class, it is just interaction, but very effective interaction where students will engage in our thing. So generally what we do, I may be knowing more about pharmacokinetics, introduction, compartment modeling. What I will generally feel, okay, I can anytime walk into the class and I can take the class 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. But now that is not working. They are not listening more in the class. So just we need to interact with them. Okay, it is possible while taking the class also I can interact, but it may take more time, 4 hours, 5 hours, and my syllabus may not be completed. So even if I try to complete the syllabus, students' mind may not be filled with the knowledge. So in such a scenario, this flipped classroom concept will help us a lot. But for that, what I am doing, I am spending around 4 to 5 hours to handle a single class. To handle a single class, I want to develop some material as different strategies I will be discussing later, and I want to develop some activities during the class. I want to develop some more advanced activities to be handled after the class. So for just managing 1 hour or 50 minutes class, you can understand 3 types of informations I want to build up. In order to do that, first I should have a complete grip on that particular half-life or steady state concentration, something. But once if we are able to plan like that for that one class, I can challenge students will never forget that concept throughout their life. But it will be very hard for a teacher to build up all the 60 classes in a semester like that. So slowly, as the years pass on, if you are taking the same subject, you can go on transforming some of the classes into these models. So in this semester, 5 classes you can transform like this. In the next semester, another 5 to 10 classes. You can explain to your principal or academic responsible persons, I am doing like this, so please assign the same course once again for me, such that if you can show some proofs like this, so obviously I think they will accept and they will give you the same course for once or twice or thrice also, because you are developing a complete setup, you are improving that thing. So even your juniors will also follow you very happily and they will understand the present generation scenario. So I hope I am somewhat clear enough in explaining this flipped classroom. If still any doubts, we can continue later, or you can contact through chat or something like that. So in traditional model, in this before flipped classroom, we used to give lecture in the class and homework activities to the student, and if he is unable to do, that's it, he is unable to do, because in the next class we will go with second lecture, lecture 2, lecture 3, because we have a lot of syllabus, and the students will be kept at halt. And in case of flipped classroom, lecture will be given to the students prior to the class. He will be doing that work in the home, reading the lecture or understanding the lecture, watching the video. In the class we will plan activities. It is no more a class, it is an activity in the class. So we will plan activities. Even after the class also we can plan post class or after the class activities. So this is another way of the same thing you can observe later also. So before the flip, in the golden model, the same thing in a different manner. So before class, during class, after class. This is about traditional manner, and this is about present modern strategy. So the same thing in a different way of presentation. So now coming to the strategy 4. So earlier, as I told, it is totally teacher directed. I used to say students should listen. Only should what I can say, converted into learner to explain, and you should let the should be in contact with the multiple students. The learner should be given highest priority. He should also be allowed teaching. It's not that only if you can allow one particular student to explain like that, or what you can say, entry quoted tab, the student is a very dull student. You are very much in a better manner. So what you can do, he may be in a WhatsApp, hi, some Arun or some. I want to give you one small topic. In the middle, I will ask you to say. You supply the answer initially. See him to respond whenever you ask a question in the tomorrow's class. Let it be like what is the importance of half-life, or what is the polymers that are used, something like that. So in the next day's class, whenever you are teaching to the whole class question, then the student will immediately respond, because he is already trained, and he will give you the answer very nicely, and such that it will. Arun has answered the question, I should also answer some. Train me, that's okay, no problem. That student will have some calm in the class. By next ask any teacher is appreciating, like that. So slowly, this is one model I am saying, just so you may be following something different, or you can different in the future. This is one, train the students at very active in the class, such that my energetic, that is my interest. That my interest is, I am not supposed to become a of heroes, and everyone should be very active, such that my class be very happy, very energetic, and noise will be there. I encourage noise. I ask the students to shout the answers, to do some noise, and healthy noise should be appreciated. So from the students' engagement or participation will be done. So this is how I used to engage some of the classes. I target some students at the back end, and I used to lead the middle of the semester itself. And strategy 5. So whatever the material we are providing to the students, here we should do some more. We may give as a PowerPoint, we may be own, or we may be giving some Word file as PDF data somewhere, but try to spend some time such that it will help also, because we are in teaching profession, somewhere we need to be presenting the same topic. So in such a manner, if you can spend more time, of course we can get some from other sources, but try to polish it in your own way, because you will have your own way, your own creative nature, include that one. And whatever the content you are developing, maybe in a Word file or PDF or somewhere, try to use some simple words. It may be 3 sentences instead of 1 sentence from the reference. You convert it into 3, 4 sentences, feel like you are talking to a student sitting in front of you. It's like that. If you can develop a content that will reach the reader, whoever is reading that one, that will reach the reader easily, and they will understand even in your absence, because you prepared the data in such a manner some student is in front of you. So generally we follow PowerPoint. Okay, fine. In that also we can do simple animations, we can do some colors, text variation. In addition to that, whenever you have select one small topic and try to upload platforms, you will enjoy, you can feel very much have an idea of these terminologies. Platforms, each platform one session separately time to explain, but platforms. So in that way, if you can develop the content, your see whatever the content we are giving or while preparing, don't have exams in mind. Student, once he or she gains the knowledge, they in the exam. Let content or concept properly. It needs sentences present in the text. Encourage, and we should not reduce any marks. Such sort of confidence should be there. Seen some teachers, if the textbook, some students come to me and used to say, sir, happening with the other teacher. I tried it. Teachers, and I tried to counsel them, and most of the teachers accepted my policy, and slowly some change I tried to bring, and I'm happy. I'm happy because some teachers and students are able to understand. This is the strategy 5 I thought of. And now the next important thing is videos. A tough job out of the fear, because I am saying something. Okay, I may have some fear because if somewhere I speak something wrong, thing. Nothing wrong is there, and where he comes to me, hey, why you told like this? If anybody asks me, I can simply say sorry, sir, and I can post a sorry message in the comments also. Fine, that's it. You just keep trying. Otherwise, few videos try by your own. You don't release them online. 1 or 2 videos prepare by yourself. You prepare by yourself. Take the help of fellow teacher, because we'll have good friends in the colleagues also. You both go to one lab, or you both go to one classroom, and one person start explaining on the board. Ask other person to record it. And like that, because already in the RIPER, I have seen good technologies are there. Maybe all are not. So, and you practice it by using editors. Okay, don't go to any editor. Just directly record, and you just read it again. You only watch. That's what I used to do. So, if you comment openly, hi, will you please comment this video? Do you have any issues with my video? Comment very nice. My video, I will update myself in the next. So that's what I used to follow. Used to use it in a better rapport develop with the student. Open broadcast software, open short, get in live, hit film. Okay, whenever you find some time, way easy job, right? Nowadays, earlier 10 years, but now it's not the thing. Station research targets, everything, a lot of, especially for NAC and NBA. So all goals or some outcomes you should achieve, like those. But unfortunately, teachers became very busy. In that busy schedule also, we have no option. Our primary target is student. We should satisfy the student by adding a lot of knowledge. For that, understand his attitude, different strategies like this, and at what point they are responding well. Some maybe see in the class very good with your videos. Some students say, sir, your notes is very happy. So like that, each student will have. And see, I may not be a book reader. Obviously, I should accept. I don't read any video also to only some extent. Develop videos more than 8 to 10 minutes. Critical, you should follow 1 hour video also. For example, we are unable to finish it with the timelines or impact to the readers or whoever watching it. So this is another strategy we can follow. And these are some of my classes. Kinetics, as we know, it is a very tough topic. If student absent in that particular class, I use it to observe. If they don't know the formula of ED of CLD, they're so by observing all those issues in the starting, right from the first year, I used to in GPAD somewhere classes everywhere. I thought of recording some, or if any student is unable to attend, so whatever may be the reasons, we could have seen. So I started recording, like I use it even KL, in a lab. I taken the help of one lab technician or one colleague, or sometimes mobiles only. So I kept mobile on some stand. Here I brought into the middle of the lab bottle, and to that I made the mobile stand. Person, I have recorded some of the videos also. So like that, if we can practice these videos, if I share to students, really I am getting a lot of good response. Some improvement I am that are so like that. Whatever I even though I am unable to finish within the class duration, this video is giving. But you don't believe to, as it is being recorded, we will be there. It's okay. We are sharing just with our students only. Students, if they believe that, we don't have any issue. If any problem, for example, one formula I have written mistake and yes, please consider this formula. Thank you. That's it. So if we can come out of this, so almost all teachers can become a good. The next strategy, okay. Materials are there. Among them, one more thing, as screen recording. Maybe some of screen recording in the laptop, we can do screen recording. Softwares like Screencast, easy to use, but it has installing this software. Simple thing, just like if you click this record button, it will show the time, and once it is coming near to 15 minutes, close. Video size also and everything. Working properly. I have completed 15 minutes class. No audio has been captured. That means nothing was recorded. I lost. Again, I start. One topic like this, it will exist forever in your lifetime. I want a diagram, I want a projector, I want to explain, and it like that. But I have recorded this in capsules by using the screencast-o-matic. Now, if any repeat the explanation of rotary drive process, absent and near to the exams, I have happy and comfortable. I will be sharing this file to that student, and I am relaxed. His doubt will be clarified. After student, still any doubts are there, still excuse student to come back to me. So like that, we can make happen that to make that happen groundwork. So to prepare while recording the audio, you may do wrong explanation. Once you do with one or two topics, by the and this is the thing which I generally follow any of these things. Only thing is you do even Zoom, for example, Zoom. So now recording my session. This is you make it what I can say. Keep that as a video editors. Already you know video edit. So like that, all these things are 8th to 10th want you for screencasting also. Also, this is how you can handle a lot of strategy where students will be through technical with the slides also you can play some animation. This scope this is one example. Like this I used to do the 8th strategy. Inside this part, that part, even in the class give some assignments. Okay, but my suggestion is first we should do some assignments rather than asking a personal suggestion. That's it. You may or may not. Simple manner examples. For example, here pharmacokinetics, a very tough job. Understand that what is this hen's wolf plot? Even the names are also something typical. It's like that, and now I am very it's not there in the textbooks also. So I try to develop some why came directly. So in the textbooks they may be given. Here you can see I have kept arrow. If see, sometimes I used to approach some mathematics teachers coming for our first year. The equation was given is really possible. Then they say all those steps to the students. But for my confirmation, are very, very big equations, and wherever I am unable to get, I am getting knowledge from how these graphs may not be given in that. Sometimes they may be giving some mistake also. We should be able to identify. They used to ask textbook, you please draw the graph. Then I will say, okay, I can. I will say, okay, guy, I am. I will try to answer. I will write a share in the students group saying that so on. So remaining students also these sort of questions can be asked. Sure, sure. Whenever this teacher asks any question, in the student. This is one sort of what I have done means in my home in the lab. What I can say, one pad, all those things. I kept one mobile phone. I laid down and I kept one. Yes, this one. So and I started writing by clicking video recorder. Recording from the top position. I kept that. So it has recorded and as well as the audio slideshow. PowerPoint, my audio board, video is recorded, and this may be an and finally the concept will be explained on a paper. So it is like something. So non-linear pharmaco explained on a piece of paper, recording it. Now pharmacokinetics on a board with his picture, and he explained. He sent me a screen casting. So based on the source also, their eyes, it should blink into their strongly, and I got successful results also. And next strategy is like giving some prior case study. When I used to teach some labs, what experiment, let it be experiment number 1, maybe particle size or microscope, something. So for that, I used to give some material. Okay, this is the experiment principle, procedure, what they observe in the. And for that, for experiment number 1, they will be making use of them. If I am unable to go to all the 20 or 30 students within that 3 or 4 hours lab time, I will be taking the help of some merit students, asking them to moderate or monitor the adjacent student. Please go ahead with the adjacent student. So like that, it will develop a lot of intellectuals in your class, and it will reduce our overburden because we have a stipulated time and everyone should be taught. If that merit students are not giving backup support to me, I may not do justice for all my 20 students in the batch. By evening 5 o'clock, I will say, oh, sorry guys, the time is up. You just finish the observation and finish the record, you submit to me. But a lot of dissatisfaction will be there inside me. So all these things made me come out with something new area, such that at least a few intellectuals were developed, and if they are used to tune the other adjacent students, so total class will be satisfied with the knowledge. This is how I used to follow. And the next one is role play. Yes, very good. I like this very much. So I make the student a lot of motivated, saying that you are the teacher today, you are the teacher today, like that. And all the remaining students will also be tuned like that person is the boss of today's class. I will be sitting at the last bench, and from that I have taken a picture of this classroom, and he will be given some topic. All his PPT will be screened at the back end. I will be taking all the notes from this person. He is Mr. Abhiteja, now doing MSc abroad. So he will do a lot of homework, but still, as they are students, they need our guidance, and if we can guide them, they will do still better miracles. So this is how this student performed excellently, and he brought some encouraging chocolates like that. That's my hobby also. I asked him to bring some chocolates. Sometimes we only offer chocolates, and he asked him to share. So if any question he asked, and if any student answer, if the student or the student, he used to throw that chocolate and they need to catch it, something. So the whole class become very attentive and alert. They don't sleep, they don't feel bored because something is happening in the class. So this is how role play. They will play our role, and we should play our role by sitting in the class as a student. Even I will ask some doubts, general questions, and they will ask, and I will say, okay, this student is asking and they are asking me to represent the question. So I use somebody's name to present a question, and the student will keep quiet and he will become very alert. I didn't ask anything to sir, but he is using my name. What he is going to ask? So that curiosity will be there. Next one is skills identification. I like this one very much. In the lab, first time whenever they prepare a capsule or tablet or cream or ampoule, we should see some lot of joy in their face. Every teacher will feel that one if he is a Sutix teacher. And like that in the chemistry teacher, if they prepare aspirin, a teacher feel very happy. So in the same manner, I used to capture those happy moments at the end of the class. It just 2 to 3 minutes if we can spend, we can capture if we can see Srikant and other students here, Kirtika, Ramya, so many students, very good. So they are very good in lab and they used to showcase their talent. So if they get the good products, they will handle it and they will show. And I will take permission from higher authorities such that the manual, the practical record, I customize the manual record, and whatever the creative things they do with the ampoules, with the capsules, Kale College of Pharmacy and ampoules in standing pool. So I used to keep those pictures on the cover page for batch A. They can write there. So lifelong they will keep this record with them or keep this manual, another copy with them as a memory. So such that they will feel some involvement in the labs also, such that they should get the product nicely and it should be captured and it should be present on the cover page. So like that we should identify the skills, we should encourage them. Like, and next one is whenever they do some better things in the activities as active learning methods. If I give some activities, for example, I maintain one activity. So this is a different story. GBL 2 F3, GBL phase 2, that means game based learning phase 2, and activity name is F3, fastest finger first. So general TV shows, live shows I used to implement in our class also. So like that, so many concepts are there. In that, this student has performed very much like Kirtika. I just developed WDC. These are all my own word terminologies. WDC, well done certificate, in charge. This Ratna Kumar is a student, Divya is a student, Ravani is a student, it's me, and it's our principal in charge at that time. So like that, we just try to create a new world in the class, and all the remaining students feel curious because this student got 100% score as a fastest finger first. Another student could have also scored, but time limited. I keep a lot of rubrics, that means rules. So I ask them to understand what is a rubric means. So slowly on, without knowing, most of my students involve in a lot of funny things, creative things, and they start thinking innovatively. Like those things we used to implement. It means a lot to them. See, and another strategy is self-control. See, my students are writing exam and I need not monitor them also. I relax in that class. I will do some other work. I will do some other corrections, and they don't turn their head also because I kept them under self-control. I used to motivate them. Of course, even though we motivate a student, attitude is like copying something. So for that, what I used to, even those papers I have not distributed. I don't collect those papers. They're all coded papers. For that, one class in charge will be the exams in charge. For example, let it be Srikant or somebody else. So they will only distribute. They will only give the question paper. They will only collect the answer sheets and give to me. So like that, some self-control is given, and this person is writing some particle size influence on absorption. This person, Musa, is writing another topic. It is polymorphism. I ask them to select the topic of their own choice. 3 topics. One topic may be for class test, one topic for assignment, one topic for online quiz. And they will be doing all the 3 topics, but through 3 different assessment technologies or strategies. This is how they got involvement. I don't ask all the students tomorrow exam on particle size. I don't announce like that. I will say I will develop on Google form 1 week before. I will float into the students group and I will ask them to select their own topic for own way of assessment. So that's like that. When they are selecting different topics, this sort of copying from other students will be not possible. So this is how I use it to handle. I will keep them under their own self-control, under self-motivation also. And next strategy is like following crosswords or scramble words. Even today's session I started with like those things only, puzzle, something. So they involve very much. And slowly I will identify few students. I will ask them to develop their own puzzles and I will ask them to share to me. I will correct them. I will change the questions. I will change the model. And finally I will give that back to that student. At the bottom I will write the student name prepared by, and the student feel very happy. And then it will be printed, all the copies, like 60 copies, and that person will be distributing to all the students. He will only correct that one in front of me slowly, and slowly he will be given privacy to correct by himself, and we will give score, we will give some appreciation, like that. So it is really a nice thing. The students will involve. And another thing is we can allow the students to have simulations, animations of the experiments, what they are going to do. Even for Sutix experiments, some Amrita University or some other IITs are performed. For college, there are plenty of videos or experimental tools are there. If not, if wherever possible sorry, we can allow them to have some another way of understanding, so that they involve and they will understand some different things for this student we given some. So we need to encourage such that they will be involved with us. They whatever thing we give, any work if we give, they will feel as a responsibility. Oh, this sir is very close to us. We should. So we should not. We are not giving lenience. We are giving that freedom, and we are letting them know the responsibility, and we are letting them involve in the activity such that they will listen to us very carefully. They give weightage to each and every teacher because they understand. Oh, this teacher is struggling a lot to make the subject known to us very easily. So we will know about their family background. Sometimes we used to counsel them. Nowadays counseling, all those things are mandatory, but not because of that mandatory rules, but because of our personal setup or personal interest. We should understand about the students, then obviously we will get positive results. And the next one is involvement. We should also involve. We every time expecting students only to involve in our activities is not sufficient. We should also involve with the students. For example, if they are doing some NSS activity, some service activity, of course we are going the same thing. We should continue. Maybe you are all there, some charges may be there, year to year you may be changing, so we should involve with them. We should do some noise with them. We should enjoy that particular work along with them. So then only they will feel, oh, this is our team, this is our whole family, we should move forward. So in such a case, learning the things and presenting the things in exam. So always to my students, don't anything for exams purpose. Read only for understanding the concept and knowledge purpose. Automatically you will pass in the exam. Passing in the exam is not at all a criteria. Particularly for my students, no student should think about X like that. If we can go on giving something new way of understanding, they will be learning. Okay, even if they become teachers in future, I am confident my students should perform something different from other students who are becoming teachers. So like that, because they will learn in the student life only. Oh, this much homework we can do as a teacher. If they get that sort of attitude, obviously that will help their students if they enter into the teaching field. If they go into the interviews also, how to perform. So I will do like this. I am a student, you are an interviewer, you ask some question. See, a student, if he is asked to raise some questions, then he or she should read the topic. He or she should have some grip on the topic. At least for that purpose, the student will gain some knowledge and try to post a question to me. I will share one experience in the last COVID time somewhere in the WhatsApp. I have given a opportunity to all my students. Once in one day, I asked so many questions to students. Then they are asked, they are supposed to give the answers. In the next day, suddenly I given an opportunity to them. So I told, okay, guys, today we will have a role play. I am a student. I am a single student. I have 60 teachers. You all are teachers today. You raise questions. You post questions in the WhatsApp group. I will give a topic like pharmacokinetics. So throughout the pharmacokinetics, you post any question. So all 60 students now are teachers. Then you don't believe, they have asked an excellent flow of questions, and by God's grace, I used to answer the questions very happily because I am happy in that subject, and I used to post. So finally I asked, okay, my dear teachers, how is my performance? Please give me grading. I want to know about my grades. So like that, I behave like a student. So students told me like, sir, you got A grade, you got A plus grade. And one student told 100%. One student told, sir, I can give you 99% only. Then I asked, hey, mister, why you reduced my 1%? Anyunya something name, I remember. So I asked why 1% reduced for my performance. I given all correct answers, only you told. Then he told, sir, for this answer, you given a spelling mistake because of typing error. Oh, very good. You identified a mistake. So I accepted. So like that, we have a lot of interactions. I involve with them like a kid, and I enjoy the teacher life also as a student. Now the strategy 19 is about group discussions. As the teams are already formed, I call them as the team A, team B, team C, team D. I will raise one topic and a case study or something else, and I ask them to give constructive comments. And sometimes I ask them to point out a particular student and ask a question. If the student is unable to answer, I stand behind that student or adjacent to the student, and I will say, oh, okay, this is good answer. Even though they don't open their mouth, we used to say like, yes, the student is saying answer to me and asking to explain to the whole class. I will explain that answer as a student. So like that, I used to involve with them. Finally, the students will feel somewhat energetic, and they will feel by the next class, I should support sir because he is working for us, he is striving for us. So if we can bring such sort of attitude in the students' mind, no doubt we can have a lot of happy class every time. And moving to the last strategy for today's session, whatever I thought of expressing. So once all the things are set ready, all the students are listening to us very carefully and doing the works, whatever we are doing, then we can start competitions. Meanwhile, we can, of course, there should be very healthy competitions. And again, for doing competitions also, generally we will assign adjacent students only as a moderators, monitoring people. And if some first or second rank people comes, again, we will ask those moderators only to appreciate the rankers or toppers in that so-and-so competition. We will develop rubrics. Whenever we keep any competition, we follow rubric system, we follow evaluation pattern, assessment pattern. So sort of things will be automatically indulged into the mind of the students. They will be getting all that additional things also, not just participatory skills. My intention is to train my students for organizing skills also. Even the way of organizing should be very smart enough, very typical enough. Whatever possible things are to be incorporated, I will again stay behind and I will use to train them in a better manner. So like that, there are so many things. I am very happy in teaching field. I am enjoying my teaching job. Mostly teaching job means I feel academics. Later research and administration, they are forceful things we need to do, and that helps for our career growth. That's fine, I accept. But for satisfaction, if one class, if we take very happily, I can say, I can strongly believe each and every student, every one of you have that experience. If you take your class very happily, if your students respond positively, after coming from the class in the staff room, we fly in the air, like we feel something light-mindedness, something light in the body weight. We feel that happiness because our teaching has that power. So that is the same thing. So these are some of the strategies, and there are so many such strategies I used to follow. I implement a lot of homework I used to do. So I don't find any tiredness when I work for such sort of implementation of strategy. So finally, this is a small slide. So teacher-centric has some issues and student-centric has something. Student-centric means students will be involved, they should be active, they will also be working along with the facilitator. That means we are the facilitator and we should be a partner in that learning. We should make the students feel like we are also learning along with them. They should not feel like I am teaching and they are learning. It should be like we all are learning. 60 plus 1, 61 students are learning. Like that they should feel. And assessments will be like, finally they will do assessment in the teacher-centric, but now regular exams, regular tests, but see, be careful that they should not be bored enough. They should not be vexed with our exams. They should not feel that some exam is going on, some test is happening. They should feel like, okay, it's an interesting thing. They should feel some interest, and don't give a lot of big assignments. Give some concept-oriented assignments. Sometimes, okay, based on our policies and our requirements, that's fine. But sometimes give them some sort of concept-oriented flowchart, something, and appreciate them. And deeper understanding is possible with student-centric because they are getting involved. And assessment is also multi-dimensional. As I told, it's not just exam. It's a quiz, it's a puzzle, it's something scrambling word, it's some role play, it's some seminar, it's some even see some more strategies I told. No, some of them, like my students used to develop audio recordings. I asked them to develop audio. Even recently in my MFAM session, I asked students to develop audios on some topic, and I am very much happy. Shravani explained very well, Fanindra or Harika. Since our students, they are performing really very good. Usha, even Manasa is performing very well. So they Ratna. So these are some of our students' names who perform very well, and they give audio lectures and they send back. I am really surprised to see their interest and the value they give to my word. I thought whether they will record or not because there may be some inferiority complex or some phobia. And I asked them to develop some skit. I am very much interested in developing skits from the topics, for example, drug interaction skits. And surprisingly, I will never forget, Mr. Fanindra framed one story, one of my student MFAM. He really developed one nice story explaining the drug interaction between two drugs like phenylbutazone and heparin or some warfarin, how both are involving and how that animal died. He developed a nice skit. So this is how a collaborative thing will be developed because we are involving with them. And a student can do several things: listening, reading, watching demo or video, discussing. But among all these things, if we allow the student to teach other students, 90% of the knowledge is said to be gained. They will involve more. This is what we generally practice. We make them leaders in the class. We make them facilitators along with us. We also make them teachers along with us. Then only they will be understanding and knowing the thing very much. So all these things are okay. So I prefer this one. I give them full rights and full freedom to share the knowledge. This is how we used to handle. And this Bloom's taxonomy nowadays everybody is knowing, because NAC and behavior all are there. So we should have an idea about this. Even though students may not be knowing all these things, but at the back end teacher should be knowing about all these things. And we are striving all these things, documents, we feel like a lot of documentation is there, but all those things are aiming to fulfill the needs of the students. As this is introduced recently, few years back only. At our time, we don't have all these stories, but now everything is BTL level, that one CO, PO, mapping, something, OB, something. So here, all these things to do justice for the student in terms of outcomes. So it may take some time to adjust for all of us, because we are also new and learning all those things. So once after few years, if we come across and if we develop materials in different platforms, different models, then we can have some sort of relaxation and we will feel some comfort in teaching field. But I think it takes around few more years to understand all these things, particularly in India, because we adopted all these things for the last few years. And we know this passive thing and active thing. So already in the previous things I told, teaching others will have a lot of active learning strategy. That means teaching peers. Peers means similar knowledge people. That means classmates. Okay, and just this one, I just want to show few slides. So strategy is completed. Just I want to give a glimpse of few things. So in the present world, there should be pedagogical knowledge. That means the methodology of teaching, and we should have technological knowledge. That means technologies we should adopt, and content subject should also, we should know the subject. We should know the way of delivering the subject, and we should merge the technology also. So that means in this matrix, we should stand here. It is called as a TPAC knowledge: technological, pedagogical, content, knowledge. So this TPAC, and again this circle is very important, where context or context. So at what context we are talking. Assume sometimes when we go to the class, they feel like, sir, we are totally bored. In the previous class, lot of stuff was added to our mind. We are not getting interest to listen to your class. We should allow that sort of freedom for the students to express. So they may be expressing such sort of things weekly once or monthly once, something like, okay, then we can say, okay guys, today no class, we'll have some activity, let's come on, chill up. So like that. So context is very important. Just we should not follow our own mind. So we should understand what is the situation of the class. And here are some MOOCs platforms like massive open online courses. We should also allow the students to enroll for such type of things and gain some knowledge equally to us, such that it will become easy for us to engage them and involve them. And there are so many MOOCs platforms we are aware, like Coursera, Swayam, edX, Udemy, and NPTEL, Swayam are doing very well, and we are following all the teachers. Even NAC is making mandatory for the student. Now, so finally, I came to conclusion, like future is loading, but only thing is we should work more. A lot of responsibility is there on the teachers. Then only the students can load their future properly, because they have a lot of distractions. Even they don't know. There are so many psychological issues are there, and so many age factors are there, generation gaps are there, and even we are also having new aspect of this generation. Our generation strategies are different. This generation is different. So we should know, and we should be ready to implement also new strategies. Whereas students are not knowing what is happening, but we should let them know, or we should involve them very much in our subject. So just now, I want to keep a small activity or quiz. So for the audience, if you have followed the thing, a small assessment, self-assessment, just we will close the session within 2 minutes, such that my time of 11 will become. So I hope you are ready. Maybe in the WhatsApp chat, sorry, that Google Meet chat, or in the YouTube chat, you may be supposed to on. So anybody can guess the name of this drug?
Sir, your screen is not visible. You are not sharing anything now.
Not visible?
Yeah, no sharing.
Is it? Sorry. I think I will reshare it again otherwise. I will share it again. Sorry for the inconvenience. Maybe it got disconnected. I will share it again. So is it okay, Dr. Pawan?
Yeah, no, it's fine. Now it's fine, sir.
Yeah. Please, either in YouTube chat box or in the Google Meet chat box, does anyone guess the name of this drug? Just for 2 minutes sake only, we will continue and we will finish. In Google Meet chat box, Pawan, will you please follow? In YouTube, I am able to see. Name of this drug? Any answers, Pawan? Because in YouTube, it will take few minutes delay.
Venkatesh, if you please see if anyone is answering in Google Meet, please respond that. Speak out their names
Yes,
as well
sir.
as.
Sir, some of the students mentioned acetaminophen, sir.
Yeah,
Very good. Very good. Paracetamol or acetaminophen. Okay.
Read their name.
Fine.
Read their name and what they answer.
Yes, sir. Sai Shweta and Mausami Baba, sir. Both of them.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. Very good. Excellent. Claps to them. Very good. So maybe whoever is able to see the comments in the Google Meet, you can speak out. As Dr. Pawan told, anybody is okay. Organizers say. So in flipped classroom concept, when we have to give the learning material, is it before the class, during the class, or after the class? In flipped classroom concept, when we have to give the material or video or lecture notes, is it before the class, during the class, or after the class?
Before the class.
Excellent, excellent, very good. Next one, which one is the need of our? Are we supposed to be a teacher-centric mode or student-centric mode?
Teacher-centric modes.
Excellent, very good, thank you. Education 4.4 means, is it internet-based or knowledge-based or innovative-based? Is it
Innovative.
Excellent.
Innovation.
Very good, very good. What is the role of teacher in the present education system? Is he the boss or just a teacher or just a facilitator?
Facilitator.
Super. Very good. Happy that you are following, at least a few students are responding. Okay, happy, I am happy. What is the website we discussed for screencasting? Any idea of remembering that one? Any name of website that can be used for screencasting?
Sir, OBS.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that can also be used, but that is mostly used for editing and all. For screencasting, some other simple websites are there or softwares are like Screencast, Omatic, Cam Studio, like that. Very good. Well tried. That can also be used, but that's a totally keep it website. Okay. Are you able to name any one national or international platform who are offering MOOCs? I mean, online courses, something like that, either in India or abroad?
NPTEL.
Very good, very good. NPTEL, I think Pawan has answered. NPTEL, Swayam. Anybody else? Any other names? Okay, Coursera,
Udemy, many.
Very good, very good. There are so many platforms. Slowly you will be knowing. I've already known. That's fine. Happy. So, okay, in this circle, what is missing? In this circle, what is missing? Okay, I will give a clue. In the dotted circle, it is missing actually, not in the colored circles, within the dotted circle. Pedagogy is there, technology is there, content is there. I ask you, we should also be aware of what is the situation. So that is given as another word here. Situation of the class, like that. Okay, it is called as context. So in what context we are talking? Sometimes we will see some people are talking without any relation. So they don't understand what is the situation. So in sad way, in sad environment, they may be cracking jokes like that. So we should be aware of what is the, in what context we are speaking, what is the mood of student. If we are giving a speech in a meeting, what is the situation or who are the audience, like those things. Okay, just a few take-home points. Already you are aware, we are in technology-enriched world. We should act as a facilitator. We should follow ALMs. Healthy noise has to be appreciated, and we should encourage that. We should be very active than a present generation student. Students are very smart, and we should be ready to face many such smart minds in one class. Using technology is one better way. I am not saying it is the only way, it is a better way. And for handling one class of 50 minutes or 100 minutes, we should strive hard and think smart, do a lot of homework. It may cost around 5 to 6 hours of our time on an average. Overall, as a teacher, we should be acting as intelligent, knowledgeable, we should be updated, passionate, dedicated, and student-centric, and we should be accepting all the changing trends. And what shall we do for handling the present generation means we should imbibe maximum knowledge. We should involve the students. We take the help of students. We can call it as a help. We can take the help of students and making them as peer teachers and making them as facilitators along with us. We should gamify the activities for their interest and involvement. We should engage the students time to time. We should allow their participation in each and every of our discussion, and competitive spirit should be developed among them. We should allow them to think differently, and we can ask, okay, today I taught this topic like this. Is there any person who can teach the same topic in a different manner? Even though they don't respond, we should raise such type of challenges as if they start thinking. At least they may think inside, they may not express, but their mind starts thinking. After a few days of interaction with them, we should get some responses. Allow innovations from the students. So fine, the last slide is like, a teacher should be always active than all the students in our class. Then only we are able to engage the present scenario. So my special acknowledgements to all my teachers who inspired me a lot, like Dr. Jaladi Rashekar sir at my school days, even Sarath sir, Jain Suresh Kumar sir. So many teachers are there. And in my graduations or higher graduations, we have teachers like in graduation, the Jaladis are like the Srinu sir, Uma sir. In our post graduations, like Professor Ramanamurthy garu, Vijayaratna madam, KPR Chaudhary sir, like that. So many teachers use it to influence us, and we imbibed so much of skills from them, and we are adding our present trends also, such that we should move forward. And all my fellow teachers who always encourage me and involve me and teach me some new things and encourages me. And I am thankful to RIPER for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I hope I have done justice to some extent to my possible level. If not, please excuse me. And I am thankful to KL University for giving me this opportunity to spare some of my time and express whatever I know. And these are some of the references where I have taken images and all. So with this, I close the session. Thank you each and everyone. Now it's open for any discussions. I am open for discussions, if any. It's over to the organizers.
Thank you, Dr. Eshwar. Thank you for a wonderful presentation. Now, if any of you are having any things to be asked to Dr. Eshwar, it is open. Faculty and students, even if you are in YouTube, you can post your comments. That will be taken by the organizers and it will be given to Dr. Eshwar to respond. Venkat, please take care of YouTube platform and check whether any participants are asking any questions.
So as it may not be a subject topic, I may not be expecting any questions, but it's okay. If any questions are there in future, you may approach to the organizers and they may forward to me, or as the session is in YouTube also, you may raise some queries there also later words. So what is the thing happened today is, with the help of RIPER webinar series platform, we had a discussion about some of the strategies for the modern way of teaching. That's what we had, and there are so many strategies you are following and your colleagues may be following, but whatever I know and I am practicing, some of them I try to express. I hope I did some part of justice. So if any issues are there or mistakes are there, please excuse me. Otherwise, I will be very happy on sharing this, and I am very much thankful to all the organizers. So it's over to organizers. I think we may wind up because that time already we are crossing them.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Eshwar. Thank you for your very wonderful presentation. I hope this presentation will be very helpful for the teachers, and also many postgraduate students are also there who will be the aspiring teachers in future. This will be very helpful, how to be interactive with the students and how to be more productive and how to make students also more productive, such that the overall pharmacy profession builds up well. So, and we once again thank you very much for your valuable time, sparing almost 1.5 hours with us and giving your valuable lecture to us regarding modern teaching methodologies. Thank you, Dr. Eshwar. Thank you very much on behalf of RIPER family.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah. Venkat, you may please end the session now.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, Venkatesh.